my god, what the hell? What's going on?
Wait, oh my gosh.
Code, are you serious right now?
Gaming, what?
You're invited to the Twitch Partner Program.
I just got partnered.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? As per usual, I'm your host, Richie T, also known as Richard T, coming at you live today, but with something a little bit different. So, instead of playing a constructed format for you today, I'm going to actually play my favorite way to play Magic the Gathering, which, as you can see on screen, is Cube. I love cube drafting, it's a ton of fun. You try to win, but you obviously don't have to take it very seriously. And it's just always a good time no matter what. I figured I don't have any events coming up until January. It's going to be modern, so I'm going to just, try to have some fun on stream with you guys. Try to do something I enjoy, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it too. I know there's a lot of people who enjoy cube content out there. So, since we are doing a cube draft, we don't really have an opening deck list. We'll kind of go through everything as we pick. But before we hop into the lobby, as per usual, I still have to hop over to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com and tell you guys to pick up your singles from there. Anything from basic lands to any cards you need for any formats, from standard all the way to vintage. I'm sure momsbasementgames.tcgplayer.com has you covered on most of those singles at the best price. If you're watching on YouTube, look down in that description box below for all the links that I'm going to be talking about, but also try to tune in live to our Twitch sometimes. We always have a wonderful time here. If you're watching live on Twitch or on YouTube in the future, thank you. Try to give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and also, after this video, hop over to our YouTube page where you can find the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, pauper, and Pioneer, and now soon to be Cube content on there. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter's @RichardTMTG. I talk magic, memes, League of Legends, music, anything else you want to talk about, I'm always willing to talk on Twitter. On top of that, if you're looking for other forms of social media to find us at, you can find Mom's Basement Games on Instagram @Mom'sBasementGames. Or you can find me on Instagram @RichieT2196. And with that, how about we hop ourselves into the cube pile? We got 2 people in our queue. This could take a minute, could fire off really quick. We don't know. If you have any questions to ask, feel free to ask them in chat while we wait for the cube to pop. What's your guys' plans for this weekend, everyone in chat? I know I'm probably going to be playing Magic tomorrow. I have a family Christmas party on Saturday, and other than that, probably just hanging out. Maybe a couple surprise vintage cube streams. Who knows? We'll see how we're feeling. But we actually got in here, and oh baby, what a way to start. Whew. I was gonna say what a way to start off the draft with a Mox Jet, but this pack is actually stacked. So I think we're gonna be taking the Mox Jet, but Ancient Tomb is notable. Gideon's good for the white decks. Mystic Confluence is always a very good card. Sneak Attack is a very good card for if you're trying to go into the sneak and show strategies. But we kind of have an option here. I predict whatever card we don't pick will be getting picked up by who's next to us. But oh my god, Numat the Nummy is actually next to us in our draft. So whatever we pass, Numat's definitely going to take. Doesn't look like we have anybody else with us. I think both are very, very open options and do pretty similar things. But I think the Mox Jet has a higher payoff. So I think we're going to go ahead and take the Mox. Alright, and what do we got here? We got Karn. Karn's a pretty powerful card. Council's Judgment is really good white removal. Shelldock Isle is secretly one of the best cards in Cube Draft. It's pretty easy to get down to 20 cards. We could try to go for an early Reanimate and try to force Reanimator. Eidolon is a really good card for the mono red deck. But I think Shelldock Isle or Reanimate or Eidolon are probably the most powerful cards in this pack. My gut's leaning towards either Eidolon or Shelldock. I don't know if we really want to force mono red this early with a Mox Jet. So I think we're going to take the Shelldock Isle and maybe look to form Storm. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Teferi's a solid option. Figure of Destiny, I think, is probably just the strongest card in this pack. Back to the mono red. That'll light up the stage. Garruk is really good for the devotion decks. Ona's Prowler's okay for Reanimator, but not great. Sower's an okay magic card, but I think we're either looking at Figure of Destiny, Garruk, or Ona's Prowler here. Hey, what up, Siggy Stardust? How you doing, man? I think of these cards, the one I would want the most for the deck that it goes into is Figure of Destiny. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. So we have a Tarka. We actually have a really good pack for the mono green deck here. We have two really good payoffs in Nissa and Prime Time. We have the Breeding Pool. But there's also Char and Lightning Bolt. And we did take the Figure of Destiny. So I think we're pretty far away from green at this point. I think we're probably looking at a Lightning Bolt pick here, sadly. When you pick up an early, give me a reason to not offload everything I have for Legacy Vintage. If you want to play Legacy or Vintage, don't do that. But if you don't plan to go to some of the events, it's pretty hard right now to want to tell people to keep their cards. We're gonna go ahead and pick the Lightning Bolt here. I think we're looking to play mono red. We maybe could have tried to force Storm, but I didn't see any of the powerful Storm cards when I took this figure. So I think we're kind of in the mono red position right now, especially seeing a Fiery Confluence and a Rabble Master here. Both of these are very powerful cards. I think the Fiery Confluence is a little more powerful, so I think we're going to go ahead and look into that. Ooh, we got Chain Lightning. The green deck is so open, but I think we're firmly seated in the red deck. A Chain Lightning and an Arid Mesa. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it's likely we wheel the Chain Lightning, and fetches aren't 100% necessary for mono red. So I think we're just going to take the extra burn and the extra 1-drop here and play it safe. Ooh, Abbott's a really solid option for mono red. Ooh, the Natural Order would have been good for a green deck. So I like to try to keep my deck clean, so we're going to move these over because we're not guaranteed to play these. I think it's pretty likely we'll play Abbott, so we'll go ahead and take that. Ooh. We're not going to wheel a card from this pack, sadly. And not being able to drive makes it near impossible. Guess I need to figure out if it's better to move them locally or maybe a major card dealer like CFB, Card Kingdom, SCG. Could I try to convince you to get rid of your cards to Mom's Basement Games? We do offer the best prices on anything you're trying to get rid of. Almost guaranteed. We're going to take the Vortex. This card is just way too good for red decks. Avalanche Rider is an okay card. Not a card we'd be happy to play, but it's the only red card in this pack, so we're going to go ahead and take it. Baby, we're in there. We just wheeled Eidolon of the Great Revel. Glorybringer's really good if we end up going the big red deck. We are full committed to mono red, baby. Nothing big here. No respect for the green deck. But there's a chance we splash this Kolagon's Command, so we'll take it and put it in the sideboard for now. Remember, I was actually thinking about audibling when I seen that Nissa, so that's crazy that that card's wheeling so much. Do they know Brian, owner of Game On in Midland, Saginaw, Mount Pleasant? You'd have to ask Josh, but I assume he knows pretty much all the store owners. There's a chance we play Dire Fleet, no chance we play Silver. Alright, what do we got going on here in pack 2? Man, the Storm deck might have been a possibility. There's a lot of big mana here. As for the red deck, there's not many solid options here. I think our best bet is going to be the Inferno Titan in case we have to go into a big deck. Like more of a big reddish style of deck. I'm going to try to organize these by color and whatnot. So I think the Inferno Titan's the pick here. Seasoned Pyro's solid. Wow, yeah. Storm was definitely open this draft. Storm and green. I think we'll go ahead and take Seasoned Pyromancer. It's not a card I'm happy to play in this deck, but it's one I think we'll do anyways. I was talking to him about verifying all the cards are real, so I can skip that step. Yeah. Bonfire and, ooh, Fire Blast. That's a good one. Skull Clamp's also very solid, but I think Fire Blast is just like one of the best red cards. Hopefully we get enough early game that we can trim a little bit of this top end, a little bit of our medium cards we have. But we're starting to form a red deck. If we see the cards, again, splashing black is an option with this Mox Jet and K command. I'm one of the few people that don't really like splashing Moxen in my mono red deck. I know that's a hit or miss subject for a lot of people. Ooh, Zergo Bellstriker, another 1-drop. The big key to mono red in Vintage Cube is just getting all of the 1-drops, hopefully. So I think we're gonna lock this Bellstriker. There's a lot of other cards that would have been good in other strategies, but this is the way we end up going. Magus is the only castable red card. I don't see us playing Terminate if we splash black. I think if we were to splash black, the card I'd actually think about here is Dark Confidant. But there's a chance Magus can just like greed some people out of the game. I think we'll move this over a little bit. Alright, what do we got here? Ooh, Grim Lavamancer is a favorite of mine. Wear Tear is not bad, but I think we're going to lean towards the Lavamancer. Again, just increasing our 1-drop is great. Mono red is so try-hard. Sword is an option. I like the sword. I'm not a big fan of sword in mono red, Just because it's a lot of mana for the effect to where I just really want to get my opponent dead, I think. Yeah, I mean, I know we're kind of Ooh, Copter is one of the best cards in the red deck. Because it just, like, upgrades most of our creatures. Mono red's obviously kind of try-hardy for our first draft, but I don't know, like, everything could kind of go every direction, but the red cards seemed the strongest in the packs. Nothing big here. I suppose we could take Manamorphose as just like some graveyard fuel, but I'd rather take this Lava Claw Reaches in case we splash black. Empty the Warrens, obviously not very great in our deck. So this was our opening pack where there wasn't really any good cards. I think we'll take the Paretic Ritual. It's something you can play to try to get to the board a little more early in these decks. That isn't really great, but, you know, it does its job. Turn 2ing a Sulfuric Vortex or, like, going Smuggler's Copter, Figure, or Zergo is very powerful. Our deck's shaping out. Someone might be drafting red as, like, a backup color. That's notable to mention. Like, it might be, like, Boros aggro, or is it aggro? This pack doesn't really have much. I guess if we get enough white fixing, there's a chance we'd splash a Dono Vanguard. I doubt it. Bone Shredder is like a maybe if we somehow end up splashing black, but hopefully we just don't have to splash. Here, Winter Orb is a possibility. It's not a card I'm happy about, but it's a card I will play. Yeah, again, I'm not big on swords. Swords kind of go in the same boat as Winter Orb. Ingress Rampage, Solid Splash, and Kitchen Finks. Alright, what do we got going on here? Phoenix is always a card. This is a very powerful pack in general. We're oddly enough going to take the Incinerate. We just kind of want the burn and cheap red cards. By far, probably the weakest card in this pack. So, kind of awkward that the strategy we're in is making us take a really weak card here. But that's just kind of what Mono Red does. It takes weak early cards to try to get your opponent dead. The other option here is Phoenix, but again, I like to try to keep my deck lower on the converted mana costs, and cheap spells if we somehow roll around some prowess creatures is where we want to be. Ancient Grudge is a fine card. Rakdos Signet is really starting to make our black splash kind of free. But Pia and Kieran Nalaar is a pretty solid 4-drop. It's a good amount of power for what it is. I think that's the pick. We definitely should have been... I think we should have been either Storm or a green drafter, actually. That's the signals I've been getting a lot from people. Like this Gaia's Cradle or these rituals, Turnabout, things like that. I always enjoy looking and seeing where we could have gone. This is what we wanted. We see a Swift Spear and a Burst Lightning. We're obviously going to take the Swift Spear, but if the Burst Lightning wheels, that is like the perfects for our deck. Yeah, nothing else I'd really be interested in. Worm Coil is a good card, but not where we want to be. Definitely snapping the Swift Spear. Hellrider is one of the best 4-drops that you can play in Mono Red for the fact that it has haste. And also just like gets through a bunch of early damage. Badlands, again, a possibility if we wanted to splash, but I'd much rather take the Hellrider and just try to be straight up Mono Red if we can. If we keep this high of a curve, there's a chance we just play this Mox just to try to be a little more aggressive. So I think we're going to take the Jit. It's kind of like the same philosophy as Swords. I'm not a big fan of equipment in mono red because your creatures aren't great and they're all kind of small, but it's a card I'll play if I have to, and I just think it's the best card in the pack. Tinglewire, Flame Tongue, Kavu. I think we're going to take the Flame Tongue Kavu. It's extra removal if we need it. We're getting high on 4s, so I really don't want to play this card unless we have to, though. Like, I think I would definitely play the Jit before it. How many spells do we have? This young Pyromancer actually looks pretty good. Ooh. 2, 3, 4. We only have 5 spells right now, but it's still a 2-1 for 2. Yeah, I think it's definitely the pick here. Nothing else really stands out to me. Yeah, so right now, I'm thinking we're probably like a 15 or 16 land deck with the Mox. Siege Gang, it's a really expensive card, but Academy Ruins doesn't do anything. Karn Scion of Urza is worse than Siege Gang, I think, for our deck. And Sweltering Suns doesn't really do anything. Pretty happy to wield the Rekindling Phoenix. This card is powerful. Definitely a card I'm fine filling out my curve with. We'll just take the Progenitus, I guess. We're not playing any of these. Ooh, we wield the Burst Lightning. That's good for us. So this is probably looking like our deck. I don't think there's really anything better we would get. Maybe we can play Jit and try to lower our curve a little bit. I'll play a Mishra's Factory as one of our lands for sure. Yeah, not playing any of these. Not playing any of these. And not playing this, so... Alright, now to figure out how we fill our deck out. Or not fill our deck out, but like... I think we're definitely playing this Mox. Because our curve is higher. I think Siege Gang is our... It's Siege Gang or Avalanche Rider for our weakest card. And I want to say it's probably Siege Gang. So I think we'll cut Siege Gang and put the Jit in. And I think we'll cut the Avalanche Rider for the Sword. How many creatures does that put us at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 creatures. 16 lands probably isn't enough with an Inferno Titan, actually. I really don't like playing more than 16 lands in my red deck, though. I think the card is just so powerful. I think it'll be fine. Winter Orb is a possibility to play. Would I rather play Winter Orb than any of these cards? I don't think so. So I think this is gonna be our deck. What do you think, chat? Oh, we need to add an extra land. And actually, even with the Mox, I kind of want to be at 16 actual sources, I think. Yeah, I think the deck's fine. I don't think it's great, but I think it's fine. I think I want to trim something, but I'm not sure what, just to try to make this, like, Inferno Titan more reasonable, unless we... I think we just, like, are never planning to try to cast the Inferno Titan. If we have to, like... What's the weakest card here? How many spells do we actually have for Young Pyromancer? 2, 3, 4, 5. We only have 6 spells for Pyro. I actually think we're going to take out Pyro for a land here. I think our curve should still be fine, and we're pretty likely to be able to cast our Inferno Titan off this now. What do you guys think, chat? Do you think the 17th land is, or the 16th land is correct? And playing the Mox since we're a little bit bigger of a red deck. Yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and try it like this. Definitely not where I think we were supposed to go this draft. I think we were meant to go... Cube is popular because you get to play with a lot of cool cards, like Mox Jet here, for example. And it's just a lot more of a casual Magic the Gathering format than Constructed. For the most part, you will always play a different deck than you played before. So you just really get a lot of options. We need an early creature for this hand, but we're on the draw and I don't like mulliganing, so I think we're going to keep. Uh-oh. Workshop Top. Signet. What a turn one. This Fiery Confluence is going to do work when we get to it. Alright, Seasoned Pyro is not a bad draw. That is a creature for our Copter. Yeah, so Cube is popular for like the same reason as Draft, except you get to play with a lot of different cards. I would have been so upset to get turn 2 Worm Coiled. Alright, that's our third land for our Seasoned Pyro. We're going to get the Looter Scooter down. Our opponent's going to go ahead and top. They're going to spin it right round, baby, right round. Is this the Worm Coil engine? It is not. It's a kitchen fix. Arguably, just as bad for us. Alright, well here we're going to go ahead and cast this Seasoned Pyro. And we're going to discard this Inferno Titan. And I think this... It's either this land or this Chain Lightning. I think drawing 3 cards were pretty... Yeah. Really glad we ended up doing that. We're going to crew our Copter, get into combat. Attack with Copter. I would like to... We'll discard a Mountain. Put him down to 6. There's 2 paper drafts, 9 Pioneer Leagues so far. 3 days left. Dang, that's crazy. It's a whole lot of drafting. The fact that the opponent's spinning their top is a good sign for us. Means they might be out of some action. We have 6, 10, 13 points of damage in We might just be able to burn our opponent out. Well, let's start by crewing our copter. What do you say? Beep beep, hop in the copter trilogy. Combat, attack. Loot, discard this mountain. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and send a message. Go ahead and 6 it. And then 6 it ourselves. Always so scary in Cube, but they never have those artifacts. Yeah, that really is true. And like, normally the workshop decks are like 5 colors, so workshop can be kind of painful. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play our land. We will attempt to chain lightning our opponent. Chain lightning is being thought about. And they concede. Alright, so we got the wins. Looks like we're against workshops, so they look pretty greedy, so I'm kind of interested in bringing in this Magus. We can go ahead and bring our cards over here. So I'm interested in this Magus for sure. And I think I might be interested in this Avalanche Rider as well. But what do we trim? Lava Man, or Dire Fleet doesn't actually seem like it'll do a whole lot here. Then maybe P&K, since P&K I think is our slowest card we have. Do we want to trim P&K for Poetic Ritual? I think so. I think we really just got to try to get to the board in this matchup. Try to get our opponent dead. If we can cheese them with Poetic Ritual, Magus of the Moon, their mana base looks like they'd be pretty sad. Or Avalanche Riders. I think I'd rather have Avalanche Riders than this Poetic Ritual. Maybe we do the Poetic Ritual instead of the Infernal Titan. And then we can actually trim a land and bring back in the P&K. Because our curve is so much lower. Since we really don't want to try to grind the workshop deck. Yeah, I think I like trying this. Ooh, we could always try to Winter Orb him. But I guess he has 1 land that makes 3 mana, so that's probably not very good. Yeah, we're going to try it like this. Try to bring him a little bit of cheese with making their mana bases a little more awkward. Opponent's trying to decide if they want to be on the play or not. They do, in fact, decide to be on the play. So this is a hand really reliant on Seasoned Pyromancer in order to have us discard some cards. We have Fiery Confluence, which is one of our best plays, but not having a play till turn 3 feels really bad, especially in a 4-land hand. So I think this is a mulligan. Yeah, this hand's a lot better. We can go ahead and probably just bottom one of these lands since we want our spells with a style of deck. Opponent's trying to craft their turn 1. Mox Pearl into land tax. That's really funny. I mean, I don't think we can not play a land, so I guess we play our land and let our opponent land tax. Our opponent only gets 2 basics, which again means, well, they might just not want to discard. I guess the good thing about this land tax is we'll really get to see how good our Blood Moon plan is. Go ahead and play a Copter and pass. Opponent's gonna top. And then they're maybe gonna land tax. Yeah, they find that's 3 basics so far. So I'm not sold on the Blood Moon plan being as good as it looked like it would have been game 1. Oh yeah, they also have a bunch of ramp, so well, this is gonna look pretty dumb, but we're gonna do it. I'd rather Abbot later, that way we have more mana if we hit a better spell. Oh, that is a combo, you're right. I didn't even think about that. I am of the firm believer of always loot. I kind of want all of our cards, but I think Jit's the most mana intensive play, so we'll go ahead and discard it. Next turn we might just end up blowing up a bunch of artifacts. Their Bloodstained Mire is a very nice mountain. That's a good one. Is it bad I'm almost thinking about fire blasting that? I think we're going to go ahead and destroy our opponent's 2 artifacts and then deal 2 to them. Then they won't have any white for this. So now we're going to crew Copter. Go to combat. We're going to attack, but this time, I know I said I'm a big fan of always loot, but don't think we really want to here. We're going to sack these lands, which puts them off land. wow, they just concede the match. Alright, well, we are 1-0 in our first vintage cube with mono red aggro. So that's always cool. The Magus might have done more work than I thought it did then. Very good when they were like attacking us, but you know, sometimes it's the small things. Opponents deciding if they want to join, and they decide to. GLHF opponent. Ooh, baby. We got a 1-drop and a couple 2-drops. Let's get it. Then we got some. Uh-oh. We're against the green deck. There's another land. That's always good. Dire Fleet Daredevil, not going to be that good against the green deck, oddly enough. Mock Sapphire. So our opponent has 4 mana. They cast a Morph. Very powerful magic here. That's a good one against the green deck. I think here we're just going to cast Dire Fleet Daredevil as a blocker and pass. 5 mana for the big group. Well, let's go ahead and see what our abbot does here. Well, that card would have been good. Go ahead, opponent. Not our best draw, but our opponent definitely had one of their best. I think you can bluff the attack. Maybe? The Dire Fleet doesn't have prowess is the only thing. But I guess like First Strike is basically the same thing as prowess. Okay. So here I think we fire everything at Grook. They do take all the blocks, unfortunately. That does mean we only have to do 1 damage to each. So we get to do 4 to them. Oh, actually we can't. We can just 1/1/1 this. Yeah, I actually like 1/1/1 more. So he has a Llanowar Elf in his hands that we know about. Hopefully we draw a land. That's not a land, but it's a pretty good draw. These green decks, if they have a good draw, they're always pretty hard to face for the red decks, because they get on the board bigger than us and at almost the same speed. It's really important we have our spot removal for it. Another morph. Our opponent's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers over there. think we'll just take this. Not a bad draw. I think I really just want to get this Grook off the table. So we're going to attack Grook with both our Thopters. And then we will fling a... Oh, cancel. We will fling a Thopter at Grook. So Grook down, but our opponent does still have 5 cards in hand. Oh, they regrowth the Den Protector. Got it. I missed that because I was F6. Yeah, I missed the regrowth play because I was F6 and trying to look at chat. That's my fault. We're dead. Alright, good talk. So against the green deck, do we want to change anything? I think I like Flametongue Kavu against the green decks. Just because it's a body that kills something. Swords are pretty bad against green decks because, well, I guess this one is green. Never mind. I think Seasoned Pyro isn't really where we want to be against the green deck. I think we wanna try to get him dead. Thinking about the Siege Gang because it's like a cheaper activation cost of P&K. Oh, we don't want Direfleet Daredevil, that's right. Direfleet Daredevil is really bad here. So we can bring in the Siege Gang. And then I think this is where we want to be. Just try to max out on removal against these decks. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this. I think we have a lot of good early interaction for the green decks. Hopefully we have enough, though. Alright, we won the die roll, and we get to be on the play because we lost game 1. This is probably one of the best hands we could draw up. Early removal, a Jit, and a We're just gonna go ahead and Chain Lightning their elf. I just don't want to deal with that. Go to combat and attack him for 1. Next turn we can either Vortex or play a Jit. And to regrowth the elf. That play screams desperate to me. And I think we've hit enough lands. This play seems very weird. But that play just like screams I need mana to me. And we have Vortex, we're gonna play a Jit next turn. assume this is probably the Garuk. Yep. So that makes it not the best. We do have 2 shots at our opponent with the Lavamancer. Oh, I suppose there's no reason to not equip Jit there. Yeah, definitely should have equipped Jit. End step. Shoot them for 2 by eating these 2 lands. Land drops are nice. Mom and pop softer shop. Now you're seeing the reason why I took Sulfuric Vortex over Koth. This card is busted. So have you guys done any vintage cube drafts yourself? I know it hasn't been up very long yet. Uh-oh. That is a Magic the Gathering card art. Not a good one for us, mind you. Our opponent's deck seems nuts. We'll go to combat. And I think we just gotta try to kill our opponent. This is actually a close game. I think Fire Blasting that... Which one are we hitting? That one? Sure. I think Fire Blasting that Elvish Mystic was actually the correct play. I know it definitely seemed weird, but... Are we dead? Wow. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we're dead. Darn. Those green decks always ruining our fun. Just trying to be an honest burn player over here, and I'm getting crater hoofed. It was a gain. It would have been a gain 4, but 4 life was still not enough because the hoof has haste. No, we were dead. We were dead by -2. It was 20 damage exactly, and we could only go up to 18. Was it 14 damage? It was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. We're on the draw. We got some 1-drop removal spells, but a lot of top end. What do you guys think about this hand? Do we want to try to mulligan to a little bit more aggressive of creatures? Or do we think we want to keep the removal and our top end? I think I'm leaning towards mulligan it. I'm pretty sure both beasts could attack. If one couldn't attack, you are completely right that we were not dead. I'll have to check it out again later. We'll put the sword back here. Another green deck. Ooh. Nice turn 2 by our opponent. That's a pretty good one for us. Vigilance and reach. Kinda wanna get lootin'. So we turned a land into a burst lightning, basically. Alright, let's attempt to burst lightning the Elvish Mystic. I'd then like to go into combat and attempt to attack your Vivian. I'm gonna go ahead and play an Eidolon. Yikes. That's a lot of mana. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana total. We might be forced into confluencing next turn, depending on what our opponent plays. Mm. 5 mana. Yeah. This game is not looking good. Yeah, again, like I said earlier, green decks are always pretty hard for red decks. I just can't, like, try to sacrifice the Eidolon. Alright. Go, Sulfuric Vortex. Vortexing the Eidolon would be enough to pressure my opponent out. Seven green. Karn liberated. taken away the last card in our hand. We draw that land we knew that was going to be there. I don't know how we win this game, but I think it involves attacking our opponent. Alright, we're empty-handed. Our opponent has a Karn, and we're at 16 to their 12. I think they're ahead. They take our Seasoned Pyro and play an Avenger of Zendikar. And then a Pelucranos. You know what? I'm cool enough to just concede and try to go on to the next one. We're looking like we're gonna have time for another cube after this. Alright, let's move these over here. So again, against green, I think we want the Siege Gang. I think we don't want the Seasoned. We don't want the Dire Fleet. We want the Flame Tongue. And I think that was it. Yeah, I think we're going to rock it like this again. Same bat plan, same bat matchup. Would you guys be cool with another vintage cube draft after this? How would you feel about cubing part 2, the Electric Boogaloo? Again, this only took about a little under an hour. We did play a pretty fast deck, so yeah, it does kind of suck we got paired against the green deck twice. But that's kind of the problem, and something I'm not a big fan of with Crosspod. I really enjoy the dynamic that happens when you play in pod, because, you know, you get to try to pick your opponents off of cards. The cube, but I'm supporting the stream. Thanks, Siggy. That's awesome, man. We have probably our best turn 1 play with a removal spell. I'm actually going to keep this hand and just hope to never draw another land for the rest of the game. This might be wrong, this might be crazy, but I imagine this is the literal best turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 we can do. Alrighty, here we go. Our opponent mulligan. We're going to lead on a figure. Figure's so good just because it's going to drop that scales. Okay. So we don't have to use this Chain Lightning now, and I'm definitely not going to just use it on our opponent. So we do kind of lose a mana this turn because they didn't play a mana dork, but that's fine. That means they're not ahead on mana either. If this is, okay, it's a Signet. So There's our 6th land for Inferno Titan. Now we really never ever want to draw land. We'll make this into a 4/4 and attack for 4. So figure's getting his beats on. Palukraduk. That's an awkward play for our opponent. Kind of stops us in our tracks. At this point, I don't see our opponent playing something we want to chain lightning. So I think the 3 damage there was worth it. Maybe it's right to just like hold on and potentially discard the Smuggler's Copter though. Opponent's thinking about their plays. They go with Vivian. Do they take Vivian down, or do they tick her up to keep her from dying to Smuggler's Copter? Choose to tick her up, which is probably the correct call. We're going to go ahead and take 5 here. Draft 11 on Arena. Good luck, Siggy. That is so much draft. I give you props on your dedication. Okay, it is 6. That's what I thought. Well, go ahead and play an Eidolon. Our opponent will play a Manticore in response. We have no good attacks, so we will not attack. I've gotten real good at old draft format. Yeah, and like once you get good, you can kind of just like, you never have to stop is the thing with Arena that I really like. You kind of just get to keep going. Same with Moto. If you get good at draft, you can go infinite on drafts on Moto. It always feels good to be able to chain. Questing a beast. I think we're gonna take this. This actually doesn't have trample, and I think this is gonna hurt us more. So I'm actually cool to block here. So we'll go ahead and monstrous here. Attack our opponent for 8 and hope they don't kill us. Yeah, exactly. Like, going infinite is one of the best feelings in the world, I think. Opponents in the tank trying to figure out how they can get out of this. Did he? 10. Oh yeah, I'm dumb. Why did I think this didn't have any power? Wait, no. I'm pretty sure you can't monstrous this without fighting. Yeah. Yeah, you have to deal the damage, and the creature has to deal the damage to blue for notes. Thought I made a mistake there for a second. Alright, and we're going on to a game 3. I know we didn't necessarily have to show them the Inferno Titan there, but I think trying to play around things the most is better there. So I would have bolted him, but I didn't want to take the chance of him having some type of gain life spell. I think we just click submit. I think that's the best form our deck's going to be in this matchup. You can still play Titan, but now he knows. It's probably correct, but I'm always someone that likes to play like safer than sorry, and like play around as many potential outs as there could be. But it's probably just like fine to like not cast the Inferno Titan. Unfortunately, our hand doesn't have a good idea. Apparently, that doesn't matter at this point. So we're gonna go ahead and cast our Eidolon and hope they don't play something big. Right, I know I could do both, but the bolt is an instant, so if our opponent puts something on the stack, I can respond with the bolt. Yikes. Our opponent's hand is real good this game. But if it gains them, like, a decent chunk of life, like, say it's like a Feed the Clan. I don't know if Feed the Clan's in this cube or not. I think we're in a really bad spot. That's what I do think. What do you hit, Eidolon? That's not a card we can cast. Yeah, this is... Like I was saying earlier, though, the green decks are like our worst matchups. It'd have to be a lot of life since you have an attacker that deals 8. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, we probably didn't have to show the Inferno Titan there. I don't know how much it hurts. But I think I agree with you. Yeah, exactly. It probably doesn't matter. So how do we get out of this? I think the way we get out of this is by baiting our opponent into blocking. And then sweeping their board with a Fiery Confluence. I suppose... There's no reason to not block here. We just like really need to get this Whisperwood off the battlefield. I guess the manifesting is actually a reason to not. Let's see what happens. wonder if we didn't tap our mana there beforehand, what the opponent would have done. I think the correct play there was just like to not take a block and then attack with both and try to set up the Fiery Confluence. That was definitely the better play in my opinion. We will go ahead and take our block with a 4/4, please. Thank you. We should probably just put it all into creatures. I don't think 2 to them matters as much as getting rid of the Den Protector if they morph it up. I think it's just pretty hard for us to win this game because of the Whisperwood Elemental in general. Oh. Instant Speed Pelucranos are pretty good, I've heard. And yeah, we're dead. Green matchup is always really tough, so I'm not surprised to have lost there. Yeah, you know, we have enough time, and I really kind of feel like running another draft, so let us hop back into the queue, shall we? 2 of 8 players. Just got grinded out by Garuk match 2 and Vivian match 3. Those walkers don't matter against Storm. You are correct. Those do not matter against Storm. But you know what Storm does matter against? Whatever your opponent's draft. It's still really cool that we were in a pod with Numatanomi, though. I'm sure these things are just firing off. Fun fact, this GM-tron is the same person that won the Cube draft at Star City Games Invitational or the SCG Con. And I actually sat next to him. He's actually a really cool guy. He streams. You should check out his stream sometime. Drafted a pretty sick... Whoo! Baby, I don't even care. It is Christmas land. That's really cool that you drafted a sweet green black deck, Siggy, but we just opened up a Time Walk. Man, that feels great. This is a pretty sick pack overall. Time Walk is obviously the pick. Anybody good? Who's all in our pod? Let's see if I notice any names. I don't notice any names. Liliana's a good card. Confidant, Pelucranos, Harmonize. But it doesn't matter. We're slamming this Time Walk. And then what do we follow it up with? Ooh. We get to hopefully go into one of my favorite cube archetypes, the Splinter Twin deck. So Time Walk works very well with Planeswalkers. Workshop can be a powerful card, but I love drafting Twin. It's just such a fun cube deck. A lot of the cards are very good. You get to play this sweet tempo-y game plan. So I think here we're going to go ahead and take the Twin and just kind of see what happens. Alright, what do we got here? So we got a Vendilion Click that plays well. Ugin's really powerful. Signets are always good. We got some okay red cards in like Chain Lightning, Rabble Master. But I really want to play this Time Walk. I think this card's obviously busted. And so we can either try to go the big mana play or we can try to go the tempo deck play. I kind of want to try the tempo deck, so let's go ahead and take the V-Click. So here, Portal is an alright card. Palincron can go infinite, but I think Spirebluff Canal is the best card here for just, like, trying to fix up our mana base. Shardless Agent is pretty good if we don't end up going Twin, or don't play a lot of counter magic, but I think Spirebluff is just a really good dual land, and definitely worth taking here. Storm is a viable option, but I kind of want to try to keep this tempo deck. Ooh. Alright, so we have a Show and Tell. So, Twin Show and Tell work really well because they're 2-card combos, and they don't take up a lot of your deck resources. So, the only other card I'd really be interested here, unless we were to switch to, like, Mono Red, would be probably Jace Beleren as just a good card draw engine, but I think Show and Tell is very powerful, and I think we're going to go ahead and take Show and Tell. And we immediately have our show target in Ulamog the Infinite Gyre. Phyrexian Metamorph is an okay card. Seacrum Coast is fine, mana fixing, but this means we're pretty likely to, no matter what, play this Show and Tell. So we're going to take Ulamog here. Alright, we're off to a pretty solid start. Alright, what do we got going on here? So we could take Infernal Titan as a big threat, Lotus Bloom as a little bit of slow ramp, or Terramander as an early creature. Could take Go for the Throat as some good removal. I think if we were to do that, we'd probably take Terminate, though. But Go for the Throat's an easier splash than Terminate. Not really set on Lotus Bloom in this deck. Inferno Titan's okay. Inferno Titan's pretty sweet with Time Walk. And we don't have to... We're not committed to a color. And we'll take the Go for the Throne sideboard. Ooh, Bloodstained Mire is a sick mana fixing. But Expansion, Explosion, and Lightning Bolt. Man. Lightning Bolt is just so important to these decks. Okay, Kozilek is another good big thing to put in. Dark Dwellers is good. If we're ballsy, we can Dark Confidant our Ulamog. I'm not that ballsy. Field of Ruin is also pretty good, but I think we're going to take the second fatty here. Alright, I'm liking where our deck is starting out. Here, not really thrilled about any of these cards. I guess the most likely card we play is either Bomat or Terastodon. Really don't want a fatty that we can't potentially cast. So I think we're going to take the Bomat and possibly. Wheeling a Chain Lightning is good removal. Yeah, there's a chance we play Swords in these decks. Zergo's a chance if we go the aggro route. Same with Jackal Puck. Man, nobody is playing Mono Red. Too bad we're committed. I love these style of decks, like the tempo-y 2-card combo decks. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance we play a Terramander, too. So these 8 cards we're pretty happy to be playing right now. Potentially one of these, like, top-end cards gets replaced, but you want, like, typically around, like, 3. So I could have taken the Terastodon, but again, I just don't like the idea of having something that we literally can't cast. Ooh, Volcanic Island. Nahiri is also a decent option. Ooh, Mana Vault, Mole Drifter. This is a really good pack. I think the Mana Vault's the pick here. It accelerates us into a turn 2 show and tell. It lets us potentially cast these cards a lot faster. Unfortunately, we're passing on a Volcanic Island, and Nahiri might actually wheel. But I think the Mana Vault's just too powerful. just arranged a good trade in my favor. That's awesome, dude. Buried Alive, Living Death, Shieldred. Yeah, I think we're like on our plan though. And when I draft, I don't like to walk in with a plan, but once I like see something and get my mind on it, I really like to try to do what I can to make that work. Treachery is a super powerful card. Fire Blast is another good early removal spell. But since we have the Mana Vault, I kind of want to take the Treachery. I also just think it's the way more powerful card. Shrine is one of the best cards for the mono red deck. Baleful Strix is pretty sweet. I do like that card. But we're not set to play black. We're not even necessarily set to play red, actually. So, like, this is what we're thinking right now. Like, this is what we know for sure we're playing. And then the rest of this can, like, be worked around. Mana Flare, Greaves is pretty hilarious. Brazen Borrower is pretty good. Simic Signet is ramp into Show and Tell. Also ramps us into our Treachery, Kozilek, and Ulamog. I think I'm leaning toward the Signet. It's an on-color Signet. Signets are very powerful in these cubes. Thief of Sanity is a pretty sweet card I could see taking. But I think I'd take Brazen Borrower over it, but I think I'll take the Signet. Ooh, Counterspell is solid. Breeding Pool is interesting because it does open us to splashing green. I guess we're like not even set to play this right now. So these are like the cards I want to play. But I'm not guaranteed to play. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and take this Counterspell here. Just good early interaction. Repeal is an okay card. These are good red cards, but I think we're off the red boat. I kind of want to take this Plateau in case we wheel that Nahiri. I think that's where we're at right now. Dimir Signet helps splash the black. Char's a solid removal spell. Needle Spires would make us pretty easily for Jeskai. But we'll take the Signet. Looter's really good. We could potentially splash green and be an Oath of Druids deck. The only creature we don't really want that we have right now is Vendilion Click. I think that's the most powerful approach. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and organize some stuff here. Alright, this goes into the tempo, this goes into a... Chandra is really good if we splash red. And we kind of want to be playing red for the most part, because red is just really good with these cards. I don't think we wield the... Yeah, Reanimator was definitely open, but... Meh. I think our deck's going somewhere. Where we still have to find out. We'll take the Pyroclasm in case we want removal. I'm not disappointed to play a Baleful Strix if we splash black. Lightning Greaves seems cute, but probably not good. Guess Liliana's Triumph is solid if we are blue-black. Yeah, we'll take Triumph. This could be like our third fatty. But P and K is pretty cool. We'll take P and K. Take an Abbott. Probably not play it. We'll take the Moat. And we'll get a Steamkin. Alright. Ooh. Oh, never mind. Oh my. Oh, what do we take? Do we take Library of Alexandria, one of the most powerful cards in Cube? Or do we take Deceiver Exarch so we can play Splinter Twin? Or there's Scarab God in this pack for if we splash black. This pack is insane. I really want to take this Deceiver Exarch. So if we take Deceiver, we're playing Twin. We're playing Chandra. We're playing P and K. We're playing Bolt, Chain Lightning, Click. I can't pass playing the Twin combo. It's just so fun and so good. So we get that in there for sure. Alright, what do we got going on that we take here? Bonfire's not bad. Sphinx is pretty good to put into play. And we can, because of our Signet and our Plateau, there's a world where we can cast it. Impulse is a good spell that makes our combo a little better. Combos. I think we'll take the Impulse. Hydroid Krasis is a pretty solid splash. Banefire's pretty good. Gush is super good. I kind of want to take the Krasis and try to splash green. We don't really have the mana for it, but splashing green doesn't really let us play this, unfortunately. It's probably just safe to take, like, the Banefire. But if we... Look, I don't really want to play the Banefire. If we see a couple green sources, we can probably splash this. Oh. Oh, but dig and T-Hall. How many instants do we even have? Impulse, Counterspell, Bolt. We have to be an adult and take the T-Hawk here, don't we? Man, I don't want to. Oh, man. These last packs have been exactly what we wanted all draft. This is pretty sick with Splinter Twin. I'm a sucker for splashing Ashiok. Realistically, we can't make an Ashiok splash work. We could potentially make a Krasis splash work, but Siege Gang's just like the safe pick. Oh. Oof. One-shot robot. I could have seen that. Jace Search Worm Coil Engine in the same pack. With Dreadhorde Arcanist, Mizium Mortars, and Lumbering Falls. Jace is just so good in Cube. I can't pass on Jace. Is Thing in the Ice possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fire and Ice seems better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We might get a last pit Thing in the Ice. More than likely we get like smokestack though. I think Fire is just like the better card for us, for our deck. Lavamancer's super good early for us. Unfortunately, we didn't get any dual lands, but I do know we passed one for the old Exarch. Is the Black Splash alive at all? No. Man, I wish it was. We'll take a... There's our last payoff. And if we played the Plateau, it's castable-ish. There's a world where we play Banefire. There's a world where we splash Krasis. I refuse to not take a Ashiok. We'll definitely play a Dreadhorde Arcanist. What do we not play? Probably don't play this Banefire. Banefire can cheese people out, though. Yeah, the Reanimator deck would have been sweet, but literally no respect. Legit nobody respected the Reanimator deck. Alright, so what are we taking out? Because we need to be able to cast our spells. I don't think we main Pyroclasm, but I think it's a card we can board in. Maybe we have enough like medium end stuff we don't need 3 payoffs. We do have a decent amount of card advantage. We're not all in on the combo. Yeah, I can get behind this deck as a 16 land deck. Four, five, six, seven, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Beautiful. Yeah, let's try it. Again, this is probably my favorite style of deck to draft. Splinter Twin, Show and Tell, 2-card combo, tempo decks. They're just so fun to play. We didn't get any of the cantrips. I think that there was definitely a Storm Drafter in our pod. And then there was definitely like a aggressive drafter. I don't think mono red, I think probably like mono white or splashing red. I think there was a green drafter because we didn't really see a lot of green cards. So that's 4. And then who knows? Some people, there might have been like there's a possibility there's just like 2 green drafters from our pod. I think our deck's fine. It's not like a slam dunk by any means, but it's not like a dumpster fire. GLHF opponent, and we would like to be on the play. Unfortunately, we cannot keep one-landers, so we will mull. Did I put the Spire Bluff in the deck? Okay, good. Alright, this hand has potential. We will put back the Chandra, because this gives us out to finding a piece for both of our combos. Opponents in the tank about our turn 1 Grim Lavamancer off basic mountain. Swamp Pass. We'll go to combat. And we will attack for 1. Fatal Push is fine. Island, say go. We'll just impulse at the end of their turn. And Signet. Let's go ahead and impulse. No combo piece here. Tap a permanent, draw a card. Click's pretty solid. Think we'll go ahead and take the fire ice. Put a stop on our opponent's upkeep. And we'll go ahead and ice their watery grave. Okay. Hopefully we find a land for next turn. To fairy. So they're Esper. Come on, land. Daddy needs land. Let's just go ahead and stick Jace. We'll go Brainstorm. Put these on top and pass. Alright, so we're pretty even, but I think our Planeswalker does a little bit more. Well then. Now our opponent has our Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's pretty rude. I wanted that. It's a commander card that's pretty cool in cube, actually. Just kind of waiting for a piece of our combos. Unfortunately, we know they're not coming for 2 turns, and we just have to pass this turn because we don't have double. Well, that's not nice. We'll definitely be boarding in the Sphinx for this matchup. Probably over the Kozilek. Not much else to do. Let's just play mom and pop Thopter shop. And then we'll pass it to the opponent. So now we're Jace Storm free. Opponent brainstorming it up. Life is too short to last long. Our opponent's playing like Esper Control over there with all the Planeswalkers as their finishers. Paths are P and K, which is actually not the worst for us. Go to combat. We will attack Jace Bellerin. Oh, I didn't think about the fairy. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're almost to Ulamog mana. Puts a card on top. Six, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so what if we try for a mana vault? Go for a T-Hulk. They're gonna brainstorm. I'd actually rather have this T-Hulk resolve because of this Karakas. Target Fire Ice. Oh, I don't get to cast it, that's right. Man, this stinks. Yeah, I just think we might not have a way out of this. We will keep trying, though. Man, Teferi is such an aggravating card to play against. Glad I went with Ulamog instead of Treachery. Interesting. They chose not to Caracas our Ulamog. I see. They have their own treachery. I think our hope to win this game is to, like, accidentally twin combo them. Unfortunately, they've gained, like, infinite value off our Jace. Teferi goes up, Jace goes up. Opponent is really torn on what to do here. I'm sure they have plenty of options going on right now, so. One, two, three, 4, 5. We will choose not to untap it. No. I will take one. And we will try to treachery our Ulamog back. Alright, we're not beating our own Ulamog. Okay. So what do we want to do about this? I think we definitely want to bring in the Sphinx and board out the Kozilek. Do we want to change anything else? I think Chain Lightning is not that great, and there's a chance in a world where we somehow Banefire them out. I think that's all we want to change. I would like to be on the play. This hand is great. Opponent's thinking about their hand. Opponent mulligans down to 6. And we will leave and go. opponent plays a fetch land and passes. So their mana base is on point. We're going to go ahead and try for a Signet. One thing about having Time Walk is Time Walk can kind of play around a Caracas in this matchup. Though is we're gonna try to Time Walk as an explorer for a siege gang commander. Casting things can be so awkward on Moto. Opponent, why can't you let me have any fun? JVP, it's what you want. Unfortunately, don't really have much to do with all this mana right now. If we draw our black Signet, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We actually, if we draw our Dimir Signet, we have enough to cast Sphinx. Coalition Relic. No. Okay, click's not bad. Let's just go ahead and do it while they're tapped out, actually. I think the extra card matters a lot less than actually having click resolve. Rev Path, Push, Fractured Identity. I suppose we'll take the one that gives them my click. Because I would prefer to not get clicked. I assume... we can't... No, they can't actually Fatal Push it. They're not flipping their Jace. Huh. Wonder what's going on here. They discard the push. And cast a Jace. Jace is choosing to have himself draw a card. Dismember? Sure. They have the Mana Vault. Weird. Why didn't they dismember before to flip Jace? Okay. Let's see what we can make work with this Exarch. We know their hand is just is Rev Path. They have the Path still. So we know the 2 cards in their hand. Jace draws themselves a card. Flip Jace this time, discarding a swamp. Plus with no target. Then go to a new phase, where we will attempt a Deceiver Exarch. Tapping their Godless Shrine. Alright, we get the tap. That's another good draw. We will attack Jace. We'll path. I wonder if we're supposed to... We didn't know they had path, but if we did, I wonder if we're supposed to play a basic swamp, oddly enough. Interesting debate. They activate Coalition Relic. Then they brainstorm off it. They fetch a swamp. They tell us to get out of their swamp. They didn't actually say that. I just said it to be meme-y. Said it as a meme. P&K becomes an O2. Looks like they might be revving for 4 on their turn. Alright, we'll go to combat. We'll try to attack their Jace. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that's 1, 1, 2, 3, that's 2, 1, 2, 3. We might throw 3 artifacts at this Jace in response to a revelation. Rev for 7. Yeah, I mean, I think if we don't kill this Jace now, we're just never going to get to kill it. face down in our opponent. Opponent loses one. Shambling Vents tapped. Signet. Our opponent's deck seems really sweet. And they moved a discard. Well, that's really not what we were looking for. Combat. Attack for 3. Opponent has Avacyn. Trying to figure out how. I think it involves like drawing show and tell and them having literally nothing. Animate Shambling Vent attack for 6, I assume. Yep. That is not a good one, as the kids say. Yeah, this isn't looking great. Search for Azcanta. Animate Shambling Vent. Dreadhoard's not really doing much here. But we will play it and pass. I'm thinking the way out of this game is some combination is like we draw show and tell, we show and tell Sphinx, they have nothing. We twin the Sphinx and then we kill them in like 2 turns. I think that's or not 2 turns, in like 4 turns. And they never draw anything. Ever. Don't really want to block yet. These lands not helping us win the game. Yeah, I mean, our opponent had... Control is typically really good into tempo. Alright, yeah, we're gonna just move on. I don't think we're winning this one. Our opponent had the answers that stacked up, sadly. Our deck's not like the best either, but it's just really fun. And it seemed open. We had the time walk. Speaking of which, this hand's like a fatty away from being able to show and tell our opponent. So I'm going to keep, even though it seems really, really risky. It's not a land. We really need lands deck. Ooh, our opponent's 4-color. Land. Land. That's not a land. There's just no way I can do it. It's gonna put us behind, but I just can't, like, waste my mana. Looks like our opponent might be playing a storm deck. That's a land. It means we can impulse on our turn. Wait, how much mana do we actually have? This makes 2, right? Yeah, so we can go ahead and try to time walk. Then we can impulse. Take Ulamog. Hopefully we're not dead on our turn. Say no. Actually want to leave an island open. Yikes. We're going to stop on our opponent's upkeep. We're going to let their search trigger resolve. Then we will attempt to ice your Wandering Fumarole. So hopefully you don't kill us. And we win it. That's one way to win when your opponent has triple mana on their turn, I guess, is just tell them that they are sacrificing 4 things on the next turn. We gotta think about how to sideboard here for a second. So I'm almost 100% sure we're against Storm. So how do we sideboard against Storm? I oddly enough really want this Ashiok. Even though it might be kinda hard to play. I think we need a 4th source. know this might seem deep, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll add a mountain to the deck. Wait, what did that add in? Did that add an island too? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, that just put us to 41. What's another card? We really don't have time for Dread Horde. The reason I want Ashiok is our opponent's cards are so important to them. Maybe we bring in Banefire too. Just try to cheese him. Yeah, let's try this. Well, we drew our sideboard card, but unfortunately an unkeepable hand with it. Okay. This hand's not great in the matchup, but it can cast all of its spells. Turn 1 mana vault. And we draw an Ulamog. It's about how we draw it. Pretty sure this bolt's just gonna go upstairs. But I don't see a reason to. Boy, howdy. I don't think this is how we drew it up, Coach. Draw both our families. And our opponent plays a Yawgmoth's Bargain. Well, pretty sure we're just dead. My god. I hate signets on Moto. Alright, go ahead, opponent. Kill us. Go ahead and do your stormy best. Double their mana for next turn. Play I'm so glad I put swamps into my deck to play Ashiok. Cries. I guess Treachery is a pretty bad card to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go ahead, opponent. Oh, wait, does this... Okay, no, we didn't. Oh, we did have enough. Oh, I punted. I didn't think about having double mana to cast my Eldrazi. Because why would I? Like, obviously the correct play. Let's see if the opponent will go into bolt range. Come on. Just 4 more times, opponent. Shot. Now do it twice. Now draw 2 more cards. I don't think that's drawing 2 more cards, opponent. think we got him. We definitely did. We did it. We beat the Storm deck. We are 1-1 going into our third and final round of our experience for the day. This has been a lot of fun though. I'm glad I did this. I love Vintage Cube. It really is. It's really just a fun format where like you get to do a lot of weird things that are a lot of fun together. Sand's a pretty easy mulligan. We don't have any blue mana, which blue mana is a lot more important than red. Yeah, I mean, we just need something to sneak in. We'll put this Siege Gang to the bottom. We're facing Noah Walker, I just noticed. Alright, that's what we drew up. Now we just hold. Soul Ring, that's not bad. Knight's Wisdom. Definitely Storm. Shelldock Isle. Time. Our opponent's deck is insane. This is what Vintage Cube's about. Signet, Soul Ring, Time Walk, drawing cards. Also, turns out it's not Noah. It is, in fact, just a fan. So our opponent knows the jig is up. They know what's going on next turn. What can they do about it? They can tap 6 mana. Oh. Well, that's no fun. Opponent's deck is insane. Like, absolutely mad how good it is. I'm not mad about it, but it's mad how good their deck is. plays their land for turn. And then is back in the tank. And then plays a Tezzeret. Man, we are getting bodied this game. And then -4 is it for Portal. Alrighty then. You certainly did your thing, opponent. I will play my 2-mana 1/3 and attack you for 1. Yeah, so Corrosive Portal is basically just a one-sided Howling Mine for double the mana. Because it was meant for like multiplayer. And you and your opponent almost never agreed to blow up the board. Because one player should theoretically be ahead. Dark Petition. Man, this is wild. Thought sees me, so I can't combo. That's just rude. Okay, click's not bad. So we'll let them go to their turn. Put a stop. Nowhere. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thousand-Year Storm resolves. Shelldock Isle resolves. And I think we might pull out this game actually. Wow. Our opponent got extremely unlucky if we somehow win this. I would like to click you. No. I made a mistake. I don't have double red. That's really bad for me. If our next card's a mountain, I'm gonna feel so dumb. Wow. I can't believe I did that. So if I click myself there, who knows what I draw, but it's definitely correct to click yourself and try to find the mountain so that way you can fire Lava Mans or kill them. I like definitely had lines that won me this game. And I'm pretty sure I just threw them away. Also, just like knowing the deck there. I wonder if that Jace play was bad because, well, they just wouldn't pay 2 for probe. I guess we could have held up Bolt and just bolted them here. But I was just trying to like hurt their draw, which I guess doesn't matter. Yeah, the Jace play was awful. The more I'm thinking about it. So if we hold up mana here, they're dead. Instead, we're like probably 100% dead. If we click ourselves, we have an extra look at a mountain to kill our opponent. And if we just don't Jace, we just bolt our opponent out here. It happens. Magic is not an easy game. Lines are not intuitive. Our opponent's taking 4 turns. Yeah, I feel very, very dead. But I want to see what our opponent does. Because I have no idea how I die. I would like to vote Carnage. Dang, it didn't go through. Opponent has 1,000,000 mana. And cast the Scarab God. I don't know what the Scarab God's doing. I guess, like, maybe they didn't get a win con for Storm. So their win con was take a bunch of turns and play the Scarab God. Man, if we can somehow survive and get to bolt our opponent out, that will be impressive. So I believe they have 3 turns here. Surprised they didn't bring back Lava Man. Eight mana. Palancron. Man, it's always sweet to watch these decks go off because you never know, like, what their win con is because it's cube, so you're not guaranteed to have like the correct win con. So now I think they might have enough pressure to just kill us. So yeah, we're officially dead. But I kind of. Oh, we know they have brain freeze actually. So they have an actual storm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, we're dead. We're actually dead. Well, you know what we like to do against Storm. Trim 1, trim 2, trim 3. Bring in our swamps. Take out a take out a take out Siege Gang Commander. Bring in Banefire. Take out Chain Lightning. And I think this is what we're gonna try. We beat Storm last time. Can we manage to do it again? Sounds fine. It's nothing impressive, but it's fine. Opponent's gonna probe us. I suppose if they want to take the impulse, which I think is the correct play, they can. Yeah, we could have impulsed into a red source, actually. That was wrong. Took the Vendilion click. Alright, didn't matter. We did it, boys. Yikes. We'll take an island. Yeah, I guess you got a portal. 4, 5, 6. Well, we have impulse. We can Gear Hulk back. I would like to vote Carnage. Dang. It didn't go through. doesn't stop me from impulsing because impulse doesn't actually draw. Hey, we found mountains. But we will take it. We will bolt. We will play a signal. We will attack our opponent for 5. I would like to vote Carnage. Opponent is trying to figure out how to kill me. Let's play out our hand, I suppose. You should be over where the butterflies into you. And the portal is back on. Dreadhorde Arcanist. I will vote Carnage. Cast our Splashiok we boarded in. Dang, our opponent's one off from being dead. 10,000-year storm. Vote Carnage. And now our opponent will try to figure out how they can kill us. Man, I love playing with Ashiok. She's such a fun card. Sure. You can have all the extra turns you want, opponent. Manlands are a really good way to win the game, actually. Scarab God will get counterspelled. Back to them. I'll vote Carnage. Yep, can't stop the Pound Crown here. Is this the time spiral? Opponent seems kind of unsure of what to do here. Cast Impulse with 0 copies. I'm into you. I'm into you. All right, we're seeing what the opponent can do here. We're unfortunately 1 mana away from being able to twin combo them if we drew a red source. They grab Time Walk, and they get 4 copies of Time Walk then. So 1 more copy of Time Walk kills us. Or 1 more spell before Time Walk kills us. Yep, that's it. So, we unfortunately only win 1 in each, but, you know, that pays for one of the 2 events we played in, which I'm totally fine with. It was a lot of fun, like I said. But yeah, Vintage Cube is great. Highly recommend you guys get your hands in some Vintage Cube. It'll be a great time, but I also recommend you guys go to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com and start buying singles from here. Whether it's any form of basic you need or any other card for any format you might be trying to get into, momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com has you covered at the lowest prices possible. If you're watching on YouTube in the future, check down that description box below again for all the links that I'm going to be talking about, but also try to tune in live to our Twitch like Siggy Stardust, Barrig, and GSG Pride did, so that way you can interact and have a good time with us as well. On top of that, everybody watching live on Twitch right now or on YouTube in the future, thank you guys. Try to give us a like on our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter at MomsBasementMTG, and also check out our YouTube content after this for the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, pauper, pioneer, and soon-to-be cube draft content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter's at RichardTMTG. I talk magic, memes, music, League of Legends, anything else you want to talk about, feel free to hit me up on there. On top of that, if you're looking for other forms of social media to find us at, sorry, I had something caught in my throat there. You can find us on Instagram at MomsBasementGames, or you can find me on Instagram at RichieT2196. And with that, I think I'm going to get heading off. I have some stuff to do after, like I said. Have to go with a friend to pick up his new car, and he will be here shortly. So I will see you all later. Have a wonderful night.